Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In the first video on understanding the basics of stock market, we talked about why stock market is not a gambling house, but rather a probability-driven game that can yield better results with knowledge, experience, and consistency compared to a casino where the odds are always in the favor of the house. But what about the scams in the stock markets? Like the Harshad Mehta, Ketan Parekh, Satyam scam, and most recently the NSE scam. How can I trust the market when companies, institutions, and even exchanges are involved in scams? So in this episode, we will look into a few questions that necessarily point to the reliability and working of the entire stock market system when it comes to the transfer of money and shares. There are a few relevant questions whose answers should be familiar to every market participants. Now, what are these questions? Number one is the most common question: how does the stock market work and is it reliable? Followed by what is the transaction process of money and shares in the stock market? And is this transactional process safe? And is this process the same while taking delivery and during intraday trading? Yet another curious question is, how are millions of orders matched seamlessly in the stock market in a matter of seconds? And finally, how does the settlement process takes place and why does it take T+1 days before it was T+2 days for settlement of shares? And why can't the settlement happen in T+0 days? Before we dive deep into finding answers to these questions, we need to understand the important players or the market participants who transact in the market, and we also need to make a note of the financial institutions that work towards achieving a reliable ecosystem for the transaction of money and shares. Depending on the amount of capital deployed or based on the capital available for trading and investing, and also the location from which they operate, the market participants can be classified into 5 groups. Number one are the retail participants, who are people like you and me transacting in the markets as the resident of the country with limited capital available for trading. The second groups are NRIs and OCIs. These are people of Indian origin but based outside India. In contrast to where they are from, the capital available for trading is limited. Then comes the domestic institutional investors or DIIs, which are large corporate entities based in India with much larger capital pool to work with. A classical example would be the LIC of India. Now the fourth category is also domestic corporations, specifically the asset management companies or AMCs. An example would be the mutual fund companies such as SBI Mutual Fund, HDFC AMC, etc. And finally, we have the foreign institutional investors and foreign portfolio investors, which are non-Indian corporate entities. This could be foreign asset management companies, hedge funds, or other investors who have large sums of money to deploy in the market. Now, these last 3 groups are called as smart money because these guys have the ability to move the prices due to the immense capital and information that they possess. Moving on, there are a few financial institutions that work together to make the stock market a better place for all the market players. Let's understand them from the perspective of a typical retail participant. The financial intermediaries includes banks, brokers, stock exchanges, depositories, clearinghouses, and the market regulator. We will see how each of these entities fits into the puzzle as we move on with the video. To start with, as a retail participant, you should have access to 3 accounts: a bank account, a trading account, and a demat account. Now the bank account is nothing out of the ordinary. You just have to open an account with any of the banks to deposit funds to be used for purchasing or selling shares. A trading account is something that you get when you sign up with a broker. Basically, a broker is an important financial entity that is a registered participant in the stock exchange. From the last video, we know what a stock exchange is. You can check that video out to learn more. In simple words, an exchange is a place where you can buy and sell shares of publicly listed companies. In India, there are 2 major stock exchanges, namely the National Stock Exchange or the NSE and the Bombay Stock Exchange or the BSE. It is only through a registered broker that you can transact in the stock market, or in other terms, you need the service of a broker to buy and sell shares. So they are like the middlemen between you and the exchange. Brokers are of different types. They may be discount brokers or full-time brokers, depending on the fees levied and the level of services that they provide. Anyway, when you register with a broker, you will get what is called as a trading terminal, which is an interface to buy and sell shares. We will make a detailed video on trading terminal later in this course. Now the third and most important account is the demat or the dematerialized account, which works like a locker or a safe where the shares you own are stored. Now back in the day it used to be a paper document or share certificate, but now it is completely in the electronic form. The depository is the financial institution that provides you with a demat account. Now there are two main depositories in India, namely NSDL and CDSL. The broker is also called as a depository participant and has the access to your demat information in order to release the shares when they are sold. Now once you have all the three accounts, you will be able to see them in your trading terminal itself. Now that you have a trading terminal, let us take a trade and see how all these financial institutions function in a step-by-step manner. Let's say you are an investor and you want to buy a few hundred shares of stock ABC. All you have to do is to select the stock, enter the number of shares, and you can even specify the price to buy depending upon the order type that you have opted for. For instance, if you don't care about which price you buy, you can select the market order, which will instantly fulfill all your orders at the current market price for the stock. Alternatively, if you want to buy the stock at a specific price, then you have to choose the limit order, and the order will be executed only if the market reaches your limit price. You will also have the option to select the exchange from which you want to buy, that is either the NSE or the BSE. Now once everything is selected correctly, you can hit the buy button. Now your job is done, unless you want to modify the order either to change the position size or the buy price or cancel the order. For the moment, let's assume that you don't want to modify the order. If the market price is close to the price that you have typed in, then your order will be executed within seconds and you will receive a notification stating that the order placement was successful, or else you will see the order still pending execution. So what really happens at the back end of all this? Let's find out. When you place an order to buy or sell a stock, you might not think about where or how your broker will execute the trade. But where and how your order is executed can impact the overall cost of transaction, including the price you pay for the stock. To be frank, trade execution is not an instantaneous process. Many investors who trade through the online brokerage accounts assume they have a direct connection to the securities market, but they don't. When you push that enter key, your order is sent over the internet to your broker, who in turn send it for execution. Now, if you take the case of global stock markets, just as you have a choice of broker, your broker has different options to direct the incoming orders. There are at least 4 ways available for the broker to direct the incoming orders for execution. But when it comes to the Indian markets, most of these methods are not legalized. Either way, we will still talk about them in brief for the sake of awareness when selecting the right brokers, especially if you are into trading forex markets. Now these methods includes number 1, the broker can direct your orders to the stock exchange, that is NSE or BSE. Exchanges here earn money by charging transaction fees on such orders. In contrast to this, in the US exchanges, the main source of income is from selling data feeds. So to generate more transactions and better quality data, they offer rebates to brokerage firms to attract order flow. These orders can be directed to floor traders on exchanges or a regional exchange, third market makers, or even to high-frequency trading firms. On most occasions, these firms will pay a fee for the privilege of executing a broker's order, which is known as a payment for order flow. Actually, this payment for order flow is not legal in India, and most brokers don't have this system in place in India. The problem is that it creates potentially unfair or opportunistic conditions at the expense of retail traders and investors. Here you can see a tweet by Zerodha CEO Nitin Kamath explicitly stating this on his Twitter handle, showing how transparent their systems are. Now the second option is using market makers, who are stock exchange members given the task of boosting liquidity and frequency of transactions in equities. The market maker system minimizes the time necessary to complete a deal and the expense of dealing in that stock, thereby enabling the trading of a large number of shares. The market makers are paid for their risk by being authorized to issue two-way bids in the market, which includes the buy and sell values mentioned collectively, with the variance or the spread being their profit. Now, without a market maker in the stock, the bid and ask price will be very wide and can be a headache for investors dealing in large quantities. Now, market makers are a wide topic of discussion, and if you want to know more, then comment down below. In India, there are a lot of legal market makers both on NSE and BSE. So I will attach links to these lists in the description. So if you want, you can check them out. The third way is using internalization. Now, internalization is when your broker decides to fill your order from the inventory of stocks your brokerage firm owns. Now, this can make for quick trade execution and is accompanied by your broker's firm making additional money on the spread. Now this practice is unacceptable, and by doing this, brokers instead of helping their clients are ripping them from the inside. In India, all orders should reach the exchange order book, and matching of all orders should happen at the exchange level order book only. So no entity, including the broker, is allowed to create their own order books or match orders among their clients. The only exception that they get is that they can display the exchange level order book to all their clients in their trading terminal. The fourth method is ECNs, or electronic communication networks. ECNs can automatically match buy and sell orders. The systems are used particularly for limit orders because ECN can match buy prices very quickly. This is a system that can eliminate the middleman and carry out transactions directly. Generally, the ECN structure is quite popular with forex markets across the world, but it is not legally permitted in India. This brings us to the conclusion that in Indian markets, the order flow is always directed to the exchanges or market makers assigned by the exchanges and is supervised at all times. Now, does this mean the market is safe and all the brokers are safe? Well, we are not ready yet to make a statement about the market as a whole, but regarding brokers, you should opt for a broker who is well established, has a large client base, and has ethical practices. These are a few criteria for the broker selection, but the list can get extensive when you consider factors like brokerages, customer support, interface, speed, features, etc. And I will leave it up to you to research and decide. Now that the order has reached the exchange, how will the stock market manage to match these orders in the best possible manner in such a short span of time? We won't dig into the technical aspects like servers and stuff, we will just focus on the process in short. I will be discussing the NSE exchange, which is a more popular and liquid exchange than BSE. Now the NSE operates on the National Exchange for Automated Trading, or NEAT system, which is a fully automated screen-based trading system which adopts for the principle of an order-driven market. Now an order-driven market is a financial market where all the buyers and sellers are displayed the price at which they wish to buy or sell a particular security, as well as the amounts of security desired to be bought or sold. Or simply, it displays all the bids and offers for a stock. You can find this order book with up to 20 data in your trading terminal. Now the NSE consciously opted in favor of an order-driven system as opposed to a code-driven system. So what is a code-driven system? A code-driven system is an electronic stock exchange system in which prices are determined from bids and ask quotations made by the market makers, dealers, or specialists. The code-driven market is also known as the price-driven market, and this system lacks transparency and the individual orders are not seen. So there might be better offers out there, but you will not know them. So by adopting an order-driven system, it has helped to reduce the jobbing spreads, which is the gap between the ask and bid price at any given point of time, not only on NSE but in other exchanges as well, thus reducing the transaction cost. Now let's see how the system works in brief. The NEAT system has three types of markets. They are the normal market, odd lot market, and auction market. The odd lot markets and auction markets are beyond the scope of this video, so we will skip that part. All the orders which are of a regular lot size or multiples thereof are traded in the normal market. For shares that are traded in the compulsorily dematerialized mode, the regular market lot size of these shares is 1. Now the normal market consists of various order book types, wherein the orders are segregated as regular lot orders, special term orders, negotiated trade orders, and stop loss orders depending upon their order attributes. So what is an order book? An order book is nothing but an electronic list of all the buy and sell orders for a specific stock or financial instrument. Every incoming order is first numbered and time-stamped on the receipt, and then immediately processed for a potential match. So every order has a distinctive order number and a unique timestamp on it, which makes every order unique. Now if a potential match is found, then the orders are stored in different books. Orders are stored accordingly based on price time priority in various books in the following sequence: best price, and within price by time priority. Now what does this mean? Price priority means that if two orders are entered into the system, the order having the best price gets the higher priority. Time priority means if two orders of the same price are entered, the order that is entered first gets the higher priority. If we talk specifically about the equity segment, the equity segment has the following types of books: a regular lot book, special terms book, and stop loss book. The regular lot book, as you may have guessed, contains all regular lot orders that have no special conditions associated with them, like a market order. A regular order should have none of the following attributes or order types attached to it. Number 1 are all or none or AON orders, which is an order to buy or sell a stock that must be executed in its entirety or not executed at all. The second type are minimum fill orders, which allow the trader to specify the minimum quantity by which an order should be filled. So for example, an order of 1000 units with a minimum fill of 200 will require that each trade is for at least 200 units. And finally, the third type are stop loss orders. Now the second type of book is the special terms book, and as per the regulator guideline, the special term book is not currently available. The stop loss orders are stored in this book till the trigger price specified in the order is reached or surpassed. So when the trigger price is reached or surpassed, the order is released in the regular lot book and the normal matching process takes place. Now the stop loss condition is met under the following circumstances. A sell order in the stop loss book gets triggered when the last traded price in the normal market reaches or falls below the trigger price of the order, and a buy order in the stop loss book gets triggered when the last traded price in the normal market reaches or exceeds the trigger price of the order. Now comes the interesting part, the order matching rules, or how are these orders matched. The best buy order is matched with the best sell order. If an order matches partially with another order, it can result in multiple trades. For order matching, the best buy order is the one with the highest price and the best sell order is the one with the lowest price. This is because the system views all the buy orders available from the point of view of a seller and all the sell orders from the point of view of buyers in the market. So of all the buy orders available in the market at any point of a time, a seller would obviously like to sell at the highest possible buy price that is offered. Hence the buy order is the order with the highest price, and quite the opposite, the best sell order is the order with the lowest price. For example, a trader A placed a buy order for 100 shares at 100 rupees per share, while trader B placed the same order for 98 rupees per share, and yet another trader C placed a buy order for the same quantity at 102 rupees per share. Here 102 is the best buy order with the highest price available, and it will be executed at the earliest. If there is no particular seller willing to sell 100 shares for 102 rupees, then multiple orders from different sellers will be matched to fulfill the order of 100 shares. The same goes with the sell side, where the lowest price available is the best sell order and is executed at the earliest. Now the traders can proactively enter orders into the system, which will be displayed in the system till the full quantity is matched by one or more counter orders, and it will result in trades. This is the case when we use limit orders for trade execution. Alternatively, traders can be reactive and put in orders that match with the existing orders in the system. This is what happens when you are deploying a market order. Now the orders lying unmatched in the system are called as passive orders, and the orders that come in to match the existing orders are called as active orders. The orders are always matched at the passive order price, and this ensures that the earlier orders get priority over the orders that come in later. Now the order matching process is the same for intraday and delivery trades, but when it comes to intraday trades, you don't get shares in your demat account. In fact, you don't actually need a demat account for intraday trading. This is because intraday trading does not involve the delivery of shares. This eliminates the need to have a demat account entirely. But since most brokers provides all three accounts free of charge, we just take it. So there is not much discussion as to the intraday settlement of shares, but when it comes to money, the profits made in intraday trading are credited in T+1 days. This means that the next day when the market session ends, you will receive your intraday profits for the current day or the 10th day. That leaves us with delivery trades where you own a stock and it arrives in your demat account. Let's check if this process is foolproof. Now, have you ever wondered how exactly a trade is settled? You bought some securities, but how do they get into your demat account? There is actually a back-end process with the stock exchange known as the clearing process, by which all the financial trades are settled on a timely basis. That is the transfer of funds to the seller and securities or shares to the buyer. A specialized organization responsible for clearing and settling of all trades, which is known as the clearing house or the clearing corporation. This entity validates the availability of proper funds and shares and ensures the delivery of security and funds to the buyer and seller respectively. So if the trades are not cleared timely, it can result in settlement risk, which can lead to the loss of capital or money. So all the trades placed through NSE are cleared through the National Securities Clearing Corporation Limited or NSCCL, which is now renamed as the NSE Clearing Limited. It is the clearing and settlement agency for all the trades placed and executed on National Stock Exchange. A time of T+2 days is required for the settlement of trades executed on NSE. All the trades are usually settled in 2 working days after the trade is executed on the 10th day. But according to a new circular by the market regulator based on the demand of investors, the settlement period can be reduced to T+1 day if the exchange wishes to do so. Now please note that T+1 does not include trading holidays. So from February 2022 onwards, the first phase of implementation has started. Now I will provide the link to the circular and also the list of stocks which are enabled with T+1 settlement. But the question still remains, how does the clearing process happen and why does it take a day for the share to be projected in my Demat account? And can the clearing corporation actually default? Let's take a look at the processes first. The first step is trade recording. As I have already mentioned, all the information related to an executed trade is recorded by automated systems in the NSE exchange. This information forms the basis of the settlement process. This was done on the T+1 day as per the old system. The information regarding the new system is yet to be available, but the entire process will remain the same, so it doesn't matter much. So bear with me as I will be taking the case of T+2 settlement. Now for the settlement, the trade details are first forwarded to the clearing house from the exchange. The clearing house then notifies the detail of the trade to the clearing members and custodians, who are actually members of the clearing corporation and who clear and settle deals through the clearing corporation. Now the members includes banks and depositories. Instructions are forwarded to the clearing banks to arrange funds for the trade settlement to pay in time to the seller. A similar instruction is sent to the depository, which can be NSDL or CDSL, to arrange for the security for buyers. The second step is the pay-in of funds and securities. A pay-in phase is started after that, where the depository and the clearing bank must pay in the securities and funds respectively for clearing and settlement. And by chance, if the depository is not able to pay in securities due to excessive short selling of a particular stock, the entire process might take T+3 days. Because an auction window is open for buying of securities during the market hours on the T+2 day itself, so that the entire settlement process can be completed on the T+3 day. So I'll make a video on auction market soon. Now after the pay-in phase is completed, all the securities and funds required for the settlement are successfully paid in with the clearing house, and then a payout phase is started where the securities and funds are paid out to the respective depository and clearing bank. The depository and clearing banks then inform the custodians or clearing members as applicable, and the settlement procedure involves allocating the delivery of securities to arrive at the exact delivery and receipt obligations of fund, and the complete payout process is executed on the T+2 day. Now since securities are dematerialized, it has significantly reduced the settlement time by using electronic modes of transfers wherever possible, with minimum human intervention to make the process precise and fast. Above all this, you will receive contract notes for every transaction from your broker and the exchange, which you can use in case of any anomaly in transactions. In addition to this, depositories like NSDL and CDSL, where we hold Demat accounts, remain unaffected even if a brokerage firm goes into some sort of trouble. But still one question remains. Why not T+0 settlement or even instant settlement? Why can't we have an instant settlement in today's world where UPI is powering over 6 billion bank transfers a month, all settled instantly? Now this question was answered beautifully by Nitin Kamath. What you need to understand is that unlike bank transfers, where there is only one underlying that moves between two accounts, that is money, in the stock market there are actually two legs, stocks and money. While stocks are also in digital format and can be potentially moved instantly, it can't really be moved instantly, the villain being intraday trading. The majority of trading volume on stock market is from intraday traders who are buying and selling stocks without taking or giving delivery of a stock. So if you did buy shares of a company from an intraday trader on the exchange, he might not have any shares to instantly transfer to your demat account. Now typically, this intraday trader will exit his position before the end of the day, and the obligation to deliver the stock will eventually land with someone who actually holds the stock. At the end of the day, all such buy and sell obligations are crystallized. Brokers transfers the stock and money to the clearing corporation that settles the transaction. While instant settlement is impossible, even T+0 settlement is extremely tough considering the time required for brokers to crystallize the obligations and then hand them over to the clearing corporations to settle. I hope things are very obvious. So, are stock markets safe? Actually, we are not done yet. There is one body that oversees all the market activities. This statutory regulatory body supervises the entire stock market system, from traders to exchanges, and prohibits insider trading, fraudulent and unfair trading practices related to the securities market. This body is none other than SEBI. So, to answer the question one last time, is the stock market safe? My answer would be yes when it comes to the infrastructure on top of which all these systems are built. But is it perfect? I would say no, because there can be loopholes in any system, and it only comes to light when someone uses it for an unfair advantage. But that is how a system learns and improves, by trial and error. And is your money and shares safe when the transaction happens? My answer would be yes, because the systems put in place are quite strong, but it is just a matter of time that a big fraud comes up, as with the NSE Yogi scam, that can make you doubt the integrity of the people and the system. But they can't fool you forever. For the meantime, this is all we have got, and it works day in and day out. Understanding the fundamental process behind the market can ensure you to confidently invest your money for a longer time. So stop fearing the markets. Start learning, start trading and investing, because nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity. I hope the video was informative. If it was helpful, please make sure to like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and press the bell icon to receive future video notifications. I will see you guys in the next video. Till then, see you.